Hello there, my name's Sean Woolley. I'm the Managing Director of Cloud9 Spain. With me I have...
Dominic, I'm the Sales Director, and we have...
Emma Kavanagh, Business Development Manager.
Very good. We're here today to talk about three developments that offer really good options for clients who want a little bit of resort-style living. Very often, myself included, you buy an apartment on a development which has lovely grounds, swimming pool, maybe 24-hour security, and that's kind of your lot. The ones we're going to be talking about today offer much more than that. So the first one is Realdelaquinta, which is a development under construction in Nueva Andalucía, so just behind Puerto Banús and San Pedro. Another one is Palo Alto, which is being developed just behind Marbella town centre, halfway between Marbella and the little Spanish whitewashed village called Higueron. And the third one is Higueron West, which is in a completely different location towards the airport, on the border of Fuengirola and Benalmádena, up in the hills with amazing views and lots of facilities. So we're going to be talking about those three, because what we've found is that our clients, when they've come to us and they specifically ask for those types of resorts and with those facilities, those are the three probably
most
big
prolific
sellers.
ones,
Yeah,
100%.
I think
Three
so.
that you'd compare.
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. So who's going to kick us off, Dom?
I would say I'll start. Let's go.
Go on.
If a client is looking for a development in Marbella, I would firstly take them to Realdelaquinta.
Yeah, you're a
Because it
big fan
really
of this place,
is
aren't you?
in Marbella. Because the other two, Palo Alto is
Even
a
though
little
it's
bit
not, it's
out.
actually in Benahabis, but I'll let him off.
Yeah, okay, Benahabis. Well, if someone is looking in the Benahabis, Nueva Andalucía, Marbella area, Realdelaquinta is the only real good choice at the moment. Whereas Palo Alto is a little bit further out from Marbella, and obviously Higueron West is not
It's a
in
different
Marbella.
location, isn't
Yeah.
it? First of all, what do we mean by resort living? What are we expecting from a resort? So if I were a client and I said, Dom, I want something, that's a resort, what would you interpret from that? What would I be looking for, really?
It's a very good question.
It's on-site facilities, wellness, golf, possible golf resort, boutique hotel, restaurant, bar, mini market. For me,
Nailing
that would be a resort.
I think so. And
A co-working space, people who want to still be on holiday, but
Let me write this down.
go to work.
dog park. She's going to mention dog park next.
Yeah, well, one of them has a pet park.
And what is the pet park? Does that mean you just walk your dogs around, or is it?
Yeah,
you
it's
can
just
throw
for the
them in a lake.
community. It's
That sounds
more.
awful,
It's
doesn't it?
more
I didn't mean
about.
throw them. I meant wash them.
It's more about the community coming together rather than living separately. So
But do you want that?
some people do.
Okay.
It's
I would.
I mean,
It's
because
a
you'll always
community.
have the choice when you live there. You can be much part of it, or you cannot. So.
I think it's great to have all those facilities on site, though, isn't it? Can you imagine, you go to your co-working space, do a few emails, speak to a few clients, meet a few like-minded people, then you go and have a drink go and get your dog in the lake.
Yeah.
You can go to an organic market on the site, which is going to be in Palo Alto, to pick some vegetables.
You can grow your own vegetables.
Allotments.
Yeah.
They're having allotments on a lot of these. It's a lot of firms.
And I know that Realdelaquinta and Palo Alto are both including electrical bikes within the community for transportation, which is really epic.
I haven't finished my day in my resort yet. So then I go for lunch. I go for a game of tennis with my tennis coach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then I go for lunch in the organic cafe.
Okay.
Have a massage. Have a swim in the indoor pool because it's clouded over a bit. Then I'd go for dinner in the 5-star hotel. What else would I do?
Well, then you're pretty much
Go and pick some
settled.
tomatoes from the allotment.
I'm obsessed
Pop
about the
home.
allotment.
Then Realdelaquinta and Palo Alto sort of nailed that. Would you
And
say
Higueron
Higueron
And
West
Higueron,
too?
all of them,
Absolutely. I mean, let's start with Higueron West because it's the first one, wasn't it? Well, Reserva del Higueron was developed some time ago. One of the key aspects of Higueron is that it's so close to the airport. You literally don't need a car because I think it's 10-15 minutes max from the airport.
You can get the train.
Yeah. Some of the resort has the most amazing views of the coast. It's that view down towards Fuengirola harbour and bay, and it's just like, ooh. If anyone's ever driven from the airport, you reach that sort of peak, don't you, where you look down.
Yeah.
Basically, it's that view.
There,
Yeah. And the old Reserva del Higueron, they built the hotel there, which is a really lovely hotel with a rooftop pool. It's now a Hilton, isn't it? Is it a DoubleTree from Hilton?
DoubleTree.
They keep having opening events, don't they, that we keep getting invited to. But it's a really nice hotel, and it's got a fantastic gym. So if you're into fitness, it's really good.
I approve.
One of the best on the coast, and a great spa. So that is a big plus, and that's already there. And then the second half of the resort is Higueron West, which they're developing now, which is a range of, at the moment, apartments and penthouses ranging from the price of about 295 and upwards for bigger properties. And they're just about to release some villas there as well. And Emma's right that they've really thought hard about what they're bringing to the table here. So you've got the co-working space, you've got the wellness and hotel on site already. So it's mainly the sports facilities, it's the stuff for the pets, it's the electric bikes. It's just a range of things that people go.
I think it's bringing people together as well.
Yeah, it is,
and it's a very good price, though.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a good price.
Big fan of the prices there because it welcomes every client.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have from every price range a lot of good options.
Yeah.
And you get so much for it.
Yeah, and it's a good developer. It's Urbania, isn't it? So it's a good, well-known developer who've they've done a lot of work.
Well, they're
in the
actually
past.
putting their head office on site.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
If you
They're moving
imagine,
their head
just
office.
to give a little comparable, if you're on the Golden Mile and you have a budget of $500,000, you'd find maybe a corner ground floor unit without any sea views in an urbanization that doesn't have an indoor pool, that doesn't have anything on site.
Yeah.
It's just a sort of location that you're paying for.
Yeah.
And if you get something in Higueron West for $500,000, you get so much surplus.
You'd get a huge terrace with views.
You get a spectacular place. Yeah. And I think Higueron West, we're talking about who wants the resort style of life. I think most people would like that. It's secure, lots of things to do without having because a lot of people don't want to drive.
Especially when people come in for holidays.
That's what I mean.
Right?
Yeah.
So there are different types of people. Some come here to live the whole year round.
Yeah.
Some come to be here half a year in their own country. So if you have all that available
I
here,
think it suits any type of buyer really. But
No,
as
it
you say,
definitely
particularly
does.
families, holidays, for rental, it's perfect because you can advertise it with having all these facilities, and you're 10 minutes from the airport.
Yeah.
So I just think Higueron West is a fantastic option for every type of client really. I don't know who wouldn't at least want to check it out.
It's a new concept of living, isn't it? Rather than just having your urbanisation, you're just there. Instead, it's
quite American
new
actually.
concept,
This concept has come over from the States in that everything all on one site, because people now, their leisure time is scarce. They've got money, but their leisure time is scarce. So they want to just use it and have everything in one place, and that ticks the box. I've just become a huge fan. Have you noticed that? I've just convinced myself. Next one, let's go back to Real de la Quinta, because you're a real sort of advocate of Real de la Quinta.
Real de la Quinta, as you were mentioning, Higueron West probably offers all the same. It's just in a different area.
And it's a different price.
And the pricing is elevated in Real de la Quinta.
And is that reflective of the area? Is that just
100%? It's location. Because when you think of real estate on the coast, you would say Marbella is prime. That's the prime spot, and that's where you pay prime prices. And everything else, quality, build, amenities, facilities, it's probably kept on the same standard, but it would attract a different sort of clientele.
Okay. So the differences between Real de la Quinta and Higueron West, am I right in thinking Real de la Quinta has a bit of golf?
Yes, it will.
Just to let you know, Real de la Quinta is the second resort of La Quinta Golf and Country Club, and La Quinta Golf and Country Club has been there for forever, and it's a really popular, well-recognised resort. La Quinta is backed financially by the Pascual Dairy Group, so a big corporate in here in Spain. So it has a track record, and people like to buy into that. They trust the brand, don't they?
Yeah.
And I think Real de la Quinta, so we have a little bit of golf, we have a big lake, don't we?
There's going to be a lake,
sports,
which, to be honest, that might be the icebreaker, because there is no resort in Marbella that has its own lake. Now, how cool is that? You will have sea views,
beach club, lake,
lake
boutique
views,
hotel,
boutique hotel, mountain views, lake
Wellness
views, sea
centre,
view, horse riding. So you
Nice and secure.
you live in the epicenter of a prime location, but yet you feel free and surrounded by nature and elements that make you forget that you're only 2 minutes down to the port.
And it's actually such a huge plot, it's not going to be so noticeable that you have 13 different urbanisations. They're really using the space very, very well.
We were actually invited onto the small panel of agents who advised them on scoping out this resort. So I had my say, which of course I loved, very early on. And actually what they said to me, first of all, was they don't really want to use the word real as its literal translation of royal. They wanted to use it as the English version, real. They wanted to make it as real in terms of nature and the surroundings as possible, which I thought was quite a nice spin on, because I think everyone expected it to be like something quite different, but they kept a lot of the nature, and that's why they wanted to put lakes and things like that, so they really could make use of the landscape. and even the use of materials in the build. There's a lot of wood, a lot of stone.
Yeah, rather than just being whitewashed apartments. Stuck in the
So
mountains.
yes, it's contemporary, but it's elegant, and I think it's probably timeless.
I love it how the new developments, whether it's Real de la Quinta, Palo Alto, or Higueron West, they put so much thought into details. It's not the typical building that you would expect 30, 20 years ago, where people would just build quantity and fault on the quality just to make cash. People are really trying to establish a lifestyle grounds for people.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful shift in the market that I was lucky to also experience, and being able to sell these things makes my job easier because there's so much more you're buying into.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's talk
So I
about
just
Palo
wanted
Alto.
to say that. Great job.
Palo Alto.
Location is brilliant.
I think location's brilliant because
Fantastic.
you're literally 3-4 minutes down the road and you're in La Cañada shopping centre.
Yeah.
Just
But
north
you
of
don't
Marbella.
feel like it at all.
No.
You feel like you're in the mountains.
Yeah.
But you are just a stone's throw from the centre of Marbella.
Yeah.
So what have we got on site at Palo Alto?
Palo Alto is
of sport,
wellness,
isn't it? Yeah.
spa, paddle tennis.
They haven't got it's not it's a big plot, but it's not scale of like Real de la Quinta, is it? So you can't have a lake there, things like that, and horse riding. It's a little more self-contained, I would say. But again, that's probably reflective of the land that you get in Marbella, which this is.
But again, focusing on the nature. They focused on the nature, not built everything too close together.
Yeah.
They've been very clever with the way the blocks are.
Yeah.
So you're getting sea views, you're getting nature views, mountain views.
It's very innovative. I think that Palo Alto kind of seems more techy, more creative, more thinking outside the box sort of mentality.
Agree with that.
With it's the really cool idea what they're doing. It's like an organic market where you can come and probably plant your own organic vegetables. There will be a gardener taking care of that.
Are these things just gimmicks? Is anyone actually going to go and plant their own? Well, she would.
Maybe not plant your own stuff, but if a gardener or the community takes care of it, and you walk down the road and you pick up your own tomatoes for a salad in the afternoon, that's really cool. And it's so difficult to make that happen because
the neighbours argue. Don't you think that someone's going to come along and take all the tomatoes?
And nick your tomatoes?
I'm sure there's going to be a method how to control it. But because most people don't do it because it's a far-fetched idea.
Yeah.
But if you have it so close to you, I think people are going to realize that it doesn't take much to be green, to be organic, to be...
That's the way we're all going.
Yeah, so it's a
Greta,
great incentive.
Whether you like it or not.
Great incentive. I know Greta bought in there, so...
That's it.
Okay, that's it.
Just for the organic garden.
Just the organic
And you
garden.
will also have electrical bikes there to commute. You have a business center where you can work with like-minded people.
And that's what's needed, isn't it? Because it's like I'm when I travel around the world, I sound like anyway. No, but when I go, I actually want to have a little base. I don't want to work from my hotel room. I want to go to a business lounge and spend an hour there just doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot more people now. A lot of the clients that we deal with, for instance, are entrepreneurs. They've built their own business, but they don't want to be stuck in one place. They want to enjoy their free time, but they still want to work. And they I think having that sort of facility where you've got a business center, co-working space is really important, actually.
Yeah, agreed.
I would view that and think, wow, I can get away from my partner for an hour. I don't mean that like that, but you know what I mean. I can give him some space.
That's a better way to put it.
And I can go and do my work without stressing him out and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and it also extends, is that a word?
If it's a word you want to use, it's a word.
It broadens your usable space.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're buying more, really, aren't you? Okay, so here's the question. I'm going to give you... No, Tony's going to give us, because it's his birthday today, Tony's going to give us 500,000 euros each.
Then I'm going to buy Tony something.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
It's his birthday, come on.
Okay, so what would we buy?
A caravan and a trip around the world?
Exactly.
Well,
out of here.
You mean out of these three?
Out of those three, yeah. I'm not asking you to choose one out of like all the developments on the Costa Del Sol.
2 properties in Higueron West.
Ooh, but you can't have 2 properties because they start at 300, 290.
Yeah, well, I'll get the mortgage on the rest.
Very good. Okay, I like
2
it.
properties.
I'm going Real de la Quinta.
Yeah, thought you might.
100%.
Do you know what?
Area for me.
I'm a bit torn.
Well, my incentive for Higueron West is different. It's
I'm
not
really
for
surprised
personal.
you've gone Higueron West. I thought you'd be definitely stamping your 500,000 on a lovely apartment in Real de la Quinta.
The infrastructure around Higueron West
Yeah.
is different. It's more dynamic. There are a lot of people that work and live there. There are a lot of people that come for holidays in Fuengirola.
So you're going to live in Fuengirola now?
No, I would buy it for rental usage.
Okay.
I would rent it out.
Forget that. Let's talk about where we're going to live.
Real de la Quinta.
Still the same?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Although Palo Alto is epic
Palo
as
Alto's
well.
cool as well. See,
It's just
now I've talked myself into Higueron West. I'm kind of feeling the vibe.
I've always been on this side of Marbella, which is the Real de la Quinta side, La Quinta side.
You're either east or west of Marbella. It's a bit like living in London. You're either north or south of the river, and you never go the other side.
I'm west. I'm very west.
I'm west.
So going to east.
Oh no, I'm east. I like east. I used to love East Marbella.
I
do
Palo
too,
Alto.
but we
Do you live in
live
Palo Alto?
in west. We all live in
I know we all live
west.
in West, but I used to live in East, and I quite like East.
I'll go there then.
I'll put him in Palo Alto.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm off to Higueron West because I don't want to be anywhere near
So
you
we
two.
just buy one in each.
One in each.
And then we'll come back to the table in
No,
2 years.
one in each, and we can do like swaps,
Yeah.
swapsies throughout the year.
Yeah.
We do like, how do you call these schemes where you time sharing?
Time share.
I was going to say work swap.
Hello, things are looking interesting. This podcast has moved on substantially in the last 10 minutes. Anyway, that's it for now, I think, unless Dom's got any more words he'd like to invent. No. Good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Expansion.
If you
That
would
was the
like any more information about these or other projects, please do make contact. Look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye bye.